All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the information session for IRT. My name is Athina Markopoulou, and I'm the director of KALAITI2, which is the institute in the building you are in. So this is an information session for the IRT program, which stands for Interdisciplinary Research Teams. It's a collaboration between our institute, KALAITI2, and UROP. And here is the information for both entities. What it means in terms of team is that the people involved to run this program is Sharon Park's office at UROP and our office in KALAITI. You will mostly interact with Sergio Gago-Masag, who is our Associate Director for Training Programs, and Jennifer Garizzi, who took care of all of us today in the back. So before the program starts, during the application phase, you will mostly interface with the Euro program. After you are selected and when your project, throughout your project, you interact mostly with KALAITI2, and that includes Alice Adams. Alice, you want to say hi? When you need to purchase your materials and get help with practical aspects of your project. And I'm also will be involved, although not in the first line of defense. So we're all looking forward to working with you. If you have questions, this mail address, irt@kalaitti.uci.edu, is a group address. We're all reading it. And of course, the most important part of the IRT team is you, the students, who are going to put your teams and your projects together, and we're looking forward to working with all of you. So as I said, this program is a collaboration between two entities, KALAITI2 and UROP. So what is KALAITI2? It is one of the CALA-ISIs, one of the California-sponsored institutes, whose goal is to contribute to Californians' economic competitiveness and use technology to benefit society. In particular, we do research, cutting-edge research and multidisciplinary research. That's our focus on interdisciplinary research here. Also, we want to interface with industry and promote innovation, transfer, and entrepreneurship. And part of our mission is also to do workforce development and prepare you for your next steps. And IRT is one of the programs under that umbrella. And with that, I will give it to Sharon.
Great. Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. I'm mic'd up. Okay. So again, thank you. My name is Sharon Parks. I'm the director of the Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program, also known as UROP. And what is UROP? So we support UCI undergraduate research and creative activities from all disciplines under the guidance of UCI faculty. And our mission is to help integrate undergraduate students into UCI's vibrant research culture. So even though this program involves graduate students as well, our main focus is undergraduate students, and that's why maybe some graduate students aren't as familiar with us, but we do have this wonderful partnership where you can be involved and help to mentor our undergraduate students and also gain experience yourself. So one thing I want to do actually before we go into this is I'd love to get a sense of the room. How many in the room are graduate students by the show of hands? Wow, a lot. Great. And how many of you are still looking for undergraduate students to form a team for this program? So a good number of them. Good. And then how many are undergraduate students? And how many of you are looking for a mentor and a team? Okay, good. So, and then also, are there any faculty here? A few? Okay. So, well, great. So hopefully we can help to match you up. We have some informal mix and mingle available at the end of today. We also will have other ways for you to connect. But before we get started into IRT specifically, I want to just mention UROP for the undergraduate students in the room. How can we help you get involved in research? And so, first of all, we have a variety of information sessions like this one, various workshops. We do one-on-one advising, so we have 3 advisors that are professional staff in our office. We also have 4 undergraduate peer advisors. So if you would like to talk to someone about this program or any other research opportunity, we are here to support you in that. And we have a lot of online resources on our website. Again, we support you in your research, so we have opportunities for recognition and funding. IRT is one of the programs that we collaborate on, but we do have some other opportunities as well. And we really want to encourage you to apply and be a UROP fellow. And And we talk about that in all of our materials and on our website. And then we give you opportunities to present your research. So we have a fall project pitch challenge that is actually tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. And we have 11 finalists who will be doing 3-minute pitches about their research. So it's a great way for you to just get a sense of the types of research projects being done out there by UROP students and interact and network. And so that is at the Student Center, and I have a slide at the end if you'd like to come to that. I'd like to invite everyone to attend. In May of each year, we've got a huge undergraduate research symposium. It's in the Bren Event Center. That's a photo of everyone with their posters on the floor. We also have oral presentations and arts performances. And then for the UROP program, for the students selected to this program, you will also be presenting your research, and we will talk a little bit about that later in the presentation. I also want to point out for undergraduate students that might be kind of new and not sure of what they want to do, we have a whole research roadmap on our website with a ton of resources. So you may find what you're looking for today, and you may be all set and you're going to move forward. But if at the end of this presentation you're still feeling a little lost, please do go to our website and check this out, because if you click on each link, there's resources to help you figure out your research journey. So with this, we want to change gears and focus on the UROP program specifically, and I'm going to invite up Sergio to talk a little bit about interdisciplinary research.
Hi, everyone. Well, thank you for your interest in the IRT program. That's great. I want to thank you, the PhD students who came today to find this opportunity, but in particular the undergraduate students, because as undergraduate students, if you guys are here, is that you understand how important is research for you, right? And this is on top of all the courses that you are taking, so it's a really, a great effort you are doing, and I really, want to thank you for being here and for being interested in this program. So before we go to specific examples, we should talk about what interdisciplinary research means. Interdisciplinary research means that people from different disciplines come together and try to tackle problems, bringing their theories, expertise, methods, and tools to come up with a solution that otherwise it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to come by a single field alone. Right? And this is one of the goals of UROP, but in particular, Quality 2 mission. Quality 2 mission is to enable interdisciplinary research among different disciplines, right? Different fields. And this is one way that we have to do it. Let's talk about specific example projects that we have had in Quality 2. If you're here, probably you have something in mind. If that's the case, that's great. If you're still thinking on, what to propose, these projects may, inspire you a little bit. One could be the smart helmet for construction safety, right? There needs to be well motivated. The motivation is that there is still a lot of construction accidents. Workers may suffer from heat, right? There may be, safety policies that need to be, monitored or rethought, right? So all of this comes to place. And the innovation of this project will be developing an Internet of Things, IoT-enabled smart helmet that can detect faults, heat stress, and even environmental hazards in a way that the user wearing it won't be able to be aware of. There is also a very well-defined target in this project example: embedded sensors and AI analytics to alert supervisors using a mobile application, to alert the user itself, right? To create dashboards of monitoring situations, environments that can be prevented in the future. So a lot of possibilities for this one, but it is well defined. Okay? Which schools are involved in this type of project? Engineering, computer science, and public health mainly. Right? There may be others, but this could be the main. And which disciplines? Computer engineering, right? Data science, occupational health, design, human factors. Right? You can see how each of these disciplines will have some piece of responsibility in a project like this one. Second example, AI-powered stress detection in college students. And this one may feel more closer to us, right? well motivated, right? Students often experience stress levels that affect their mental health, their academic performance, right, and many other things. It is innovative. Yes, we are going to use wearable sensors to track physiological signals to identify early signs of stress and burnout, right? How do we do that? We do that by getting sensor data, right, from a wearable. It can be a wristband, can be a smartwatch, right? It can be even a smartphone, depending on what type of data we want to collect. For example, motion sensor, right? Which schools will be involved in this type of project? We will have ICS, we will have social ecology, in particular psychology, and we can also have nursing as one of the main schools. Disciplines, computer science, to make sense of, analyzing the data, getting the sensors, maybe developing the app, psychology, nursing, to make sense of the health environment, risk, and how that may affect, the user. And biomedical engineering to work with sensors and the data that sensors collect, right? In a way that we make more sense of the data that we are collecting. Okay, and I'm gonna thank you. I'm gonna pass it by to Sharon. Thank you.
Okay, am I on again? Okay, great. So thank you very much. So that was a great explanation of what are some examples of interdisciplinary research. And in terms of the program specifically, what are we looking for in terms of our applicants and our teams? So the UROP program consists of teams of 2 to 4 undergraduate students. So that is very specific. We don't want less than 2. We don't want more than 4 because we think that's a good manageable number for the PhD graduate student to mentor. We don't want huge teams that it gets too unwieldy. So ideally, we want the undergraduate students on the team to come from at least 2 different schools or at least disciplines. So preference is kind of given to 2 different schools. So like we were saying, if there's like engineering and public health, that kind of thing. We will also look at students that are within the same school but different majors. So biomedical engineering and electrical engineering, that could be an option as well. But again, because these projects are meant to be interdisciplinary in nature, that's really what we're trying to combine and have students network and bring their different perspectives to the project. Then the PhD graduate student is the mentor of the project and kind of pulling those teams together and mentoring those undergraduate students on the project. But along with that is the PhD student mentors, faculty mentor. It might be their own faculty advisor, might be someone else, but we really want the graduate students to get that mentorship from faculty as well and to work closely together. So we are, again, really encouraging teams to be working closely with the faculty advisor in addition to the PhD student mentor. So we've got information both on the Cal IT2's website, and we've got the QR code in the website here. So you've got some information, and then we also have information on the UROP website, again, because it is this kind of partnership where UROP focuses on the application piece, and then once you're selected, there's Cal IT2 focuses on the program itself and going from there. So in terms of how do you apply to the program and what information do you need to know, on the UROP website, we go into a lot of detail about our eligibility requirements, also the compensation for the program. So if you are selected, then the PhD graduate student will get a $1,000 stipend fellowship that is meant to reimburse you for your time and effort in mentoring the students and doing the project, and then up to $2,000 in program expenses. So as part of the application, you will submit a budget and you will justify what are the needs for this project. And then there are very specific types of expenses that are covered versus not, and we go into a lot of detail in our guide about what can be covered and what can't. And graduate students will then, once they've been selected, submit purchase orders to Cal IT2, who will purchase the supplies that are approved for the project. And the project is intended to take place during January through May of 2026. So I know, obviously, as a PhD student, you probably got a large project that might be, lasting over a number of years, but you want to make sure to make it succinct to that time frame, something that you and your team can accomplish within that time frame. I want to go into just a little bit of detail. I don't want to go too far, but on our website. So again, in each of these, are you eligible? We talk about the eligibility requirements both for the PhD graduate student and the undergraduate students on the team. And then we do, as I mentioned at the beginning, is the teams will all be presenting their research at the end of the academic year. So either late May or early June, we'll have presentations of your projects. This is the guide I was mentioning that goes into a lot of details. So if you've got questions about how to prepare your application, what to include in the different pieces of the application, we have a clickable, sorry, I'm going a little fast here. We have a clickable table of contents that will go into a lot more detail about what is required. So really encourage you to look at that in detail. And then in terms of preparing your application, what do you need to apply? So first off, I want to make it clear that the PhD graduate student is the main applicant and the one who needs to complete the application. So of course they will be doing it in collaboration with their team, and you'll be working as a team together to come up with a research proposal and the details and personal statements and things like that. But the graduate student is the one who will actually go into our online application, fill out some basic information about who you are online, and then you'll be submitting a research proposal with an itemized budget and justification. And then a personal statement, which each team should submit one document, but each student on the team will write a 300-word maximum personal statement. And again, we've got some guidelines in the application guide. And then there's a graduate student mentor agreement form. And so that's both the graduate student is agreeing to mentor our undergraduate students, and then we ask you to get it signed by your faculty advisor, who is also agreeing to mentor you and the team on this project. We're at the information session now, so you can see that. We do have a link to a few sample proposals that have received funding in the past. So if you want some more examples, you're welcome to look at those. And then submitting your application, our application deadline. And actually with that note, I'm going to go back to the presentation. Application deadline, Monday, November 3rd at 11:59 p.m. So certainly if you've got questions about the application, you're welcome to contact UROP. We have all of our contact information on our website, and we can clarify any questions you have. In terms of next step before applying, one thing, I don't know how much time we'll have today, but I did want to maybe have graduate students who are still looking for undergraduate students on the team. They could talk very briefly, introduce themselves and their research topic, and the undergraduate students in the room can kind of look around, and if you're interested in that topic, you can try to connect with each other. So we will have an opportunity to find potential team members. Read the ERT application guide. PhD students, please meet with your faculty advisor so that you're getting their engagement and involvement in the process. And then, of course, the graduate student will apply by the deadline. With this, I think I'm turning it back over to Sergio. Sure.
Okay, just to stress our timeline, right? Assuming you are interested, you want to submit your application before November 3rd. Then after that, what's going to happen? There will be someone like me behind reading a lot of interesting applications and making tough decisions on which ones we are going to award. And we have a commitment to notify awards by December 5th. We want to do this as soon as possible because we want to allow time, right, in winter break, to you to organize the new projects, which start on January 9th. Okay? So from that, you need to understand this is a winter plus a spring effort. So you will be working from January, let's say 5th, right? 5th, which is the first day, right, of winter quarter, to all the way to June, right, which is the end of the spring quarter. During that time, it's not that it's just going to go and do the work and come back with some results. We want to check with you, right? There will be some reports. There will be some progress presentation, right, or progress report, sorry, mid-program review. And then at the end, we will have kind of a symposium final presentation, right? Where we will come all together and show the results and celebrate the completion of the program. Okay. Is there any questions about this timeline? No? Good. Yes. Go ahead.
What about for undergrads who are double majoring? Like, say you have like, oh, sorry, thank you. I was saying, what about for undergraduates who are double majoring? So say you have one in like the School of Social Ecology, and then you have another one that's double majoring, say like econ and social ecology. Would that still count for the IRT?
You want us to count that the student as two different students working on different fields?
Yeah. Like two different students. Like one is majoring in one of the schools, and then the other student is overlapping as a double major.
Yeah. So as long as there are from 2 to 4 students, undergrad students, and as long as there is a diversity of disciplines, that's fine, right? So if one of them is in 2 different majors because double majoring, that's fine. It's just like need to make sure that in the application it's clear which expertise are you bringing, right? But yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. You're still, bringing expertise from a different discipline, and it should count as multidisciplinary.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, let's continue. This one, you have QR codes here. You have 4 QR codes. One is for the application website, which Sharon already shown. Another is for the Cal82 website with more information about the IRT program. If you haven't checked in, please do so. Here you have the QR code. Still, you have a chance to check in. And then we just created an IRT Discord server, which may be useful for students who are either looking for undergrads or PhD students to team up. You will have an opportunity here to present yourself, introduce yourself, and present the project if you want to propose something. Or are you looking for students, or just offer yourself for projects that may be available? Question.
So you say that PhD graduate students. What about master's graduate students, or is it only if you're in a PhD program?
Only PhD students
Okay.
are allowed this one. Yeah. We have another question in the back.
Hi, thanks for all the information. I was wondering how many teams are selected every year, and I read that you have some preference for teams that are inside Cali 2. I was wondering how we can find a mentor with who is a faculty here, if we should send an email.
I can take it and you can continue. Yeah, thank you for the question. So if I recall correctly, we have about 30 students or projects selected last year. I don't remember the exact number. And whether we have a preference for Cal82 or not, we have a preference for multidisciplinary projects. And Cal82 mission is one of the goals to bring people from different disciplines. So any faculty or PhD students who are working already in Cal82 means that they meet that eligibility criteria. So we are going to be looking at those with more peace of mind that this is per se something that is working already and is multidisciplinary. But our Cal82 director may want to chime in on that a bit more.
Yeah, don't focus on the technicalities of this. We don't look to reject you. We look to accept you. So don't worry too much about technicalities of the double major, or is my faculty already affiliated with Cal82 or they want to interact. So there is a list of faculty on the website, but just focus on your project and who you're going to work with. Propose a good project, and we want to accept you all if the projects make sense. So don't focus on the technicality so much.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi. I have a question because I know that this is partnered with UROP, and so I have a team. I'm a graduate student, And I have a team of undergraduates working with me who are all from different schools, so we meet the eligibility criteria there. But kind of like related to the question that the previous person asked. So let's say that if we apply for the Cali T2 program and we don't get selected, is there a way that we can automatically be considered for UROP? Because I really, like, these are really good undergraduate students I'm working with, and I wouldn't want their project not to be able to be funded.
I can take that one. Yes, so your students are welcome to apply, or you and your team are welcome to apply to both programs. You'll only be funded through one. So the way we'll work it is the ERT program, the graduate student applies. We'll find out if they're selected. If they are, that's what you would receive, because the funding is quite much, a lot higher than it is for our regular UROP opportunities. The undergraduate students on your team could also submit a research experience fellowship application. So that's one distinct difference is you would be applying for the ERT program, they would be applying for the REF program. And then if for some reason you're not funded through ERT, then we would consider the team's application through REF. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, we have one on the back.
Thank you. I just have a follow-up question for that one. Like, will the personal statements be able to be the same, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Most of the materials will be the same. There's a slight difference with the REF program has a faculty advisor form, and the ERT has a graduate advisor form. So there are some differences, but the proposal and the personal statements can be the same.
Thank you so much for the presentation and going over the different aspects of the program. A question that I had is, based on your experience last year, what worked well in terms of the proposal, in terms of students coming together, and if you can share some best practices? Thanks.
I was not involved last year, so I can defer the question, or I can tell you my guess of what's going to be good practices for this one. In general, I mean, I was not involved in this program last year, but I've been involved in many similar programs. So best practices have a very well-defined project, right? Impactful, realistic, right? I mean, it may seem like a lot of time, but there's not a lot of time, right? So we will make sure that, you know, something comes out from that proposal. So realistic proposals make sense. The components and the members and the expertise that they bring make sense. It's well-defined. It's innovative, right? So we are going to be looking at those things. I mean, that would be, you know, the essence of the proposal, and then the way that the proposal is defined, right? If I need to read the proposal, or we need to read the proposal 10 times to understand what you're trying to propose, that's going to be, you know, probably harder to find that one that it's easy, flowing easily, right? So the crafting of the proposal is also important, right? As PhD students who are the ones who are applying, this shouldn't be an issue because you are used to writing millions of papers, right, per month. So you should be fine with that part. So just focus on the essence, right? Like innovative, well-defined, something that is doable with the team that you have in about 5 months.
And I would say, think what you have to show in June or in May. Will you have a demo? Will you have like a draft paper? Well, it would be nice if you actually get a publication out of it. That would be ideal, not necessary. So think what you will produce at the end. You will not just read papers or just talk about things. What is the goal of the project?
Thank you. Any other questions? I think there is one there. Yeah.
Hi, so I was wondering, as an undergraduate, would I be allowed to apply for the UROP fellowship separately as an individual for a different project, and then also apply for IRT for a separate project with my group?
Yes, that is possible.
No more questions? Okay. Go ahead.
Actually, I was wondering in the cost if... Yes, thank you. So I'm in a research lab that works a lot with like human participants, and so most of our cost goes towards paying subjects. So is that covered through the funds or
Sure.
not?
I mean, as long as it's multidisciplinary, it should be covered. But that raises a good question regarding human subjects, right? Here, I mean, UCA is a big institution, and review of board takes a little bit. So there are a couple ways to go with that. One is going through UROP site that explains, whether it may be XM or not. The other is going through IRB. My hope, I mean, IRB can be sometimes slow. So my hope is that if you are going to propose a project that requires IRB review, I'm hoping that you will have already in place.
Yeah, so just to give a little bit more context. So I'm in the bilingualism mind and brain lab, and so with Dr. Judith Kroll. So in our lab, we have like what's known as an umbrella IRB, and so it covers all of our protocols. Yeah. So it's already been approved because the project that we propose falls under the accepted protocols.
Okay,
so
then if what you are going to propose falls into the protocol that you have approved already, then there is no issue, and yes, that's completely valid as a proposal.
One thing just to clarify though, when you were saying, did you want compensating human subjects through like gift cards or payments, or what was it?
So typically, if we have research funds and the funds allow us to pay them by hour, which is according to like our IRB is the one that stipulates what the hourly pay rate for the participants is. So we take those funds and we typically pay them by cash, but it wouldn't be a problem if, let's say that for this we would have to distribute gift cards. Like it wouldn't be a problem as long as we can compensate them.
Yeah. So that might be a question. In the past, the previous director didn't allow that, but things may change now.
Let's take this offline. My guess is there's no problem.
I don't think there's. I mean, I'm thinking just make sure that the proposal is not, if we get this funding, we will do the same thing that we are doing, but we will just add 20 more participants, right, to our study. It shouldn't be that, right? It shouldn't be something that is complete by itself. It's kind of like a standalone or a part of the larger project, and there is something that you can showcase.
Yes, for sure. This would be a project that would be, starting from scratch.
Okay,
if that makes
great.
sense. It just the protocol that we're following falls under like our general IRB protocol, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to invite Sharon now. He wanted to invite PhD students, right, to pitch their projects.
Thank you. Okay. Well, we're not going to mix and mingle just yet, but actually, I'll leave this up because, again, we may not have much time to mingle today, but I do encourage everyone to join this Discord channel or server because this might be a good way for everybody to connect if they're looking for teams or just need support in applying to the program. But maybe now, if there's a graduate student, I'm going to start here and work my way back and then come this way. If you could just raise your hand if you are a graduate student and you are looking for team members, and you could just share your name, your major, and a very brief sentence about your research. And undergrad students in the room, listen, and then approach these students at the end. Okay, we'll start here.
Hi everyone, I'm Olivia. I'm a PhD student in computer science. Professor Markopoulos is my faculty advisor actually. We do privacy and technology policy research, and I guess broadly we're going to be looking at privacy and safety issues of AI chatbots, particularly from like a legal perspective, but doing audits, user to user sort of interaction with the chatbot. If you're interested in that, please let me know.
Okay, we got one back here.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for your time. I'm Arturo Ramirez, and I'm from the Electrical Engineering Department under Professor Maxime Sherbakov. My work is towards optical neural networks, so optical accelerators, which includes topics of computer science, material science, physics, and electrical engineering. So if you're interested in these topics, please come talk to me and we can work out how to progress.
Who's next?
Hello everyone, I'm Ali Reza. I'm in computer science. I'm a second year PhD student, and my project is at the intersection of neuroscience and artificial intelligence. Basically, we are trying to bridge the gap between the brain and artificial intelligence systems these days, they are not biologically plausible and they use lots of energy, while brain is very, in terms of using energy, brain is very efficient. So we try to bridge the gap. And there are already undergraduate students working with me, but all of them are in computer science. So specifically, I'm looking for undergrads in neuroscience or biology or anything related, if you are interested. So yeah, I will be here after this meeting.
Who is your advisor?
Pierre Baldi.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ismat Jarin. So I'm a PhD student at computer science, and my advisor is Professor Athena Marco. So I work on privacy, trustworthy machine learning, virtual reality. So I am interested in privacy audit of different AI systems, AI agents, and designing privacy preserving mechanisms for emerging technologies like machine learning technologies and virtual reality. So if anyone is interested, thank you.
Thanks so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Rebecca Larkin. I'm a PhD student in the art school, in particular in the music school. And my research looks at human-computer interaction through the lens of game development and music. So my personal research is that I've been designing a game in the Unity engine that casts the player as a musical improviser. Essentially, playing this video game turns you into a musician, whether you play an instrument or not. So if any of these ideas resonate from you, especially if you're in computer science or engineering somewhere, I'd really love to hear from you. Thanks.
Very nice. Can I ask 2 questions? First, who's your advisor?
Oh, sorry, yes. My advisor is Kojiro Umezaki.
All right. And are you familiar with a new instrument competition in the School of Engineering?
Yeah, the eSonic competition. I was actually a judge last spring.
All right. Very nice.
So that everyone can see me without turning their head. My name is Nitish. I am a 5th-year PhD student in the computer science department, working with Professor Amir Rahmani. My most recent project is about synthetic data generation, so basically generating new data, but for health-specific applications, while looking at aspects such as fairness and privacy, like other folks are doing. I'm specifically looking for people who are potentially in their 3rd year, going to graduate soon, because I'm also going to graduate, and I want to be able to mentor them in a nice way so that you can get your project in your resume, use that for your job application, and also I'm happy to give you advice on how to apply to PhD programs within UCI and outside. Thanks.
Great. Anyone else? Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that is great. I'm excited. What we already heard. So it takes some time to find your team and define the project. So take your time, interact with each other, use the Discord server, and if you need input, you can also reach out to help refine the project. You can also reach out to us if needed.
Yeah. All right. And so with that, I have just a few things. As I said, I wanted to invite everyone to the UROP Project Pitch Challenge tonight, 5 to 7 p.m. if you want to see short 3-minute pitches about a variety of research projects. We've got, of course, hopefully everybody has checked in by now, but if you haven't, please do that. We do have a survey. We'd love to hear your feedback about how we did, and I've got our deadlines for UROP coming up there. So at this point, unless there's anything else anyone wants to say? No? Okay, then let's just go ahead, and for those of you who found, maybe you heard something a graduate student said, you were excited about it, go ahead and approach them and start talking with them about it. And if not, then this would conclude our session, and thank you so much for coming.